be grateful. Let's learn something about the elements of poem. There are lots of elements of the poem, but here today we are going to discuss 3 of them. 1. Stanza 2, form 3, sound pattern. Stanza. Stanzas are a series of lines grouped together and separated by an empty line from other. One way to identify a stanza is to count the number of lines. Thus, couplet 2 lines, tercet 3 lines, quatrain 4 lines. So, poem Be Grateful has 4 lines stanza, that is quatrain. Form. A poem can be labeled according to its form or style. Here are the 3 most common types of poems according to form. 1. Lyric poem. 2. Narrative poem. 3. Descriptive poem. Descriptive poem is a poem that describes the world that surrounds the speaker. It uses elaborate imagery and adjectives. So the poem today we are going to learn, Be Grateful, is a descriptive poem. Sound pattern. Rhyme. Rhyme refers to the repetition of sounds in a poem. Examples. So here are the 2 stanzas from the poem Be Grateful. When I thought my day was bad, I looked at the guy next door. He wakes up each morning accepting that he is unhappy, tired and poor. Here door and poor are the rhyming words. When he thinks life is bad, he looks at the woman from the other day. She sits in her house quietly grieving because her young son passed away. Here day and away are the rhyming words. Relax and make yourself ready to pay attention to the poem. Let's learn something about the poetess. Marinela Reka. She was born in April 23rd, 1996. She started writing at the age of 6. Her poetry is for any age. She writes about things that happen to people and about advice you could use. Poetry is a different type of music. Words and verses create pictures in our mind and stir our emotions. Marinela's poetry does this brilliantly. She captures and expresses the moods, the emotions, the feelings and the situation of the young. When she started seeing that people all over the world were enjoying her poetry, it inspired her to keep writing. Poem. Be Grateful. When I thought my day was bad, I looked at the guy next door. He wakes up each morning accepting that he is unhappy, tired and poor. When he thinks life is bad, he looks at the woman from the other day. She sits in her house quietly grieving because her young son passed away. When she thinks life is bad, she looks at the girl all on her own. She has no family after the accident, no one to hug her or hear her moan. When she thinks life is bad, she is surprised to see the people in third world countries dying each second because of poverty. Be grateful for all you've been blessed with. We need to stop and look around because of someone in a worse situation. Never fails to be found. Stanza no. 1 explanation. The poetess emphasizes the sadness felt by the guy next door when every morning he wakes up. He is sad, exhausted, or must be tired of making his life better as he is poor. But the man has humbly accepted his fate. He knows he is lacking sufficient money to live a comfortable life in this society. When the poetess thinks that she had a bad day, she sees the guy next door and feels grateful for whatever she has. Stanza no. 2 explanation. The poetess in this stanza is talking about the guy who thinks his life is worthless. But he is grateful when he looks at the other woman sitting in her house. She is in intense sorrow as her young son has passed away. She has lost her loved one. The man is thankful for his life when he looks at the sad woman. Stanza no. 3 explanation. The poetess refers to the woman who thinks her life is full of sorrow. She thinks that her life is unpleasant. But when she looks at the other girl, she feels grateful. The other girl has lost her family in an unfortunate accident that took place unexpectedly. Now she is left alone in the world, having no one besides her to hug her or to hear her cry. Stanza No. 4. Explanation. The poetess in this stanza is talking about the girl who thinks her life is not she desired, for as it is full of sorrow. She is astonished to see the people living in the other countries who are on the point of death because of lack of money to live a normal life in a society. She is grateful when she thinks of the people who are hand to mouth and are unable to feed their families, thus dying of hunger and poverty. Stanza No. 5. Explanation. The poetess in the last stanza emphasizes on being grateful for what you have or have been blessed with. She is asking people to come to an end and look around for people who are less fortunate. She is stressing over people to be thankful, as there are people living in worse conditions. Let's go through the vocabulary of the poem. Thank you.